Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Lone Wolf, the Dungeons of Torgar. In the last episode, we narrowly escaped being detected, or we were detected by the natives as we tried to blend in with them, and now we've ran away, and obviously with me is Karzie.
Hello. I liked how you called the soldiers natives too. I mean,
Yeah, because
it's fitting. You're right.
Yeah, we tried to mimic their accent.
Oh yeah, because we had the skill to do it. It's like if you have the skill, let's start mimicking their accents.
So yeah,
that's like Steven Seagal when he like busts people that are like throwing down the real gangster lingo around him. Have you seen that?
Nah. Give me a link. Check it out later. I was in loads of Steven Seagal films. I only remember his fighting style where he just does that like two-handed thing where he goes whoosh, he slaps him.
Well, what he does now is he does like a TV show for he's like a cop, and he's like on the streets type of cop for the most part, or you know, in a car, a comfy car. but you know, it's like live PD basically. For what I haven't seen it myself, but I've seen little snippets. And yeah, every single time there's this one video where whenever he pulls over someone that's like a minority or has like an accent or oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, speaks in a different way. He just starts mimicking it, and they catch him on camera doing it, and it's funny as hell.
Okay, now. All right, so let's get back to the story. So we're trying to get past the Isle of Ghosts. So there was that isle along the way to our destination. And apparently we've got a choice now whether we're going to jump across a narrow chasm or look for a way around the chasm. So what do you think we should do?
Oh, how big is this narrow chasm? Is that all we get?
I mean, there's no dimensions to it. It's just a narrow chasm. I don't know if we've got any super jumping abilities.
Oh my god.
But it says here a
like
tangle of yellow bones.
Abilities.
There's some yellow bones lying at the bottom, and a damp, unwholesome smell rises from a number of tiny caves which riddle the sheer walls. So, the yellow bones at the bottom might be someone who tried to jump and died, but if we try to go around it, we might come across those unwholesome smells.
Well, it sounds like we're screwed either way, but the bones kind of, they turned me off the jumping idea, so I'm going to say let's look around.
Fair enough.
Okay.
The further you skirt around the edge of the chasm, the wider it becomes. After an hour of searching for an alternative way across, you are forced to return to the trail and reconsider the jump. Okay.
If you have a rope!
Yes, we actually do have a rope.
Do we have a rope? Did we actually bring it this time?
Yeah, I never got rid of it. So it's right there. So
nice!
It's been our first item for a while.
Alright, let's use that rope. You tie one end of the rope to a strong stick and cast it across the gap. On your third attempt, it anchors in some exposed tree roots near the edge. A few tentative pulls assure you that it is secure enough to support your weight, and you swing across. Your feet brace to withstand the jolt of impact against the chasm wall. Oh, pick a random number.
Oh, great. And none of our skills can help us. It's 50-50, so let's see.
Alright.
The collision with the far wall leaves you breathless, but otherwise unharmed. Gripping firmly with both hands, you haul yourself out the chasm, untie the stick from the end of your rope, and wind it back into your pack before setting off deeper into the eerie forest. Nice, we didn't take any damage.
We would have just healed it up like instantly anyways, probably.
Yeah. Speaking of healing,
take 1.5.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah. Oh, is things happening?
What? Nothing?
Oh, I thought internet was cutting out or something.
No,
it just cut out to me.
It's your move. Your page 50.
My move.
Your move. Yu-Gi-Oh. Your move.
Pa. You activated my trap card! My grandfather's deck has no weak cards, Kaiba. Alright. For several hours, For several hours, you follow an ancient pavement that mostly lies buried beneath the rich black soil of the forest floor. Occasionally, you discover a heap of moss-colored slabs. They are all that remain of the dwellings built long before the trees conquered the isle. It is late afternoon when you reach a clearing in the middle of which stands a decaying structure of mold-encrusted stone. The building is an immense ziggurat, which is so overgrown that it appears to be part of the surrounding soil and vegetation. A section of this verdant growth has been cleared to reveal two massive doors of solid crystal set into the lowest level. If you have the mankind discipline and divination, go there, which is what we picked at the beginning of this adventure.
Also, I'm concerned that the island has been conquered by trees. Are these trees able to move like in Lord of the Rings? If they are, I'm pissing my pants.
I'd rather fight those trees than like the trees from Evil Dead 2.
Oh god, I hate those ones. Fucking molested the girl, dragged her.
They did.
Stuck those branches where the sun don't shine. God damn.
There's no doubt. They applied the hell out of that.
All right, so a strong aura of evil and treachery pervades the entire area, and your senses detect that you are not alone. The building is occupied. Forewarned by your psychic skills, you avoid approaching the clearing. Under cover of the dense undergrowth, you make your way around to the rear of the building, where you witness a curious scene.
Ooh, turn to page 306 for curious scene. A dozen horses, bridled with furnishings and covered with coverings of black and gold, stand tethered to an obelisk of stone. Two leather-clad soldiers sit nearby, sharing a pipe of aromatic tobacco as they gamble at cards. They each wear an emblem on their shoulder, which is embroidered upon the horse's saddle cloths. It is a gold portcullis on a black crest. If you have traveled to the Stormwinds of Central Magma in the previous Lone Wolf adventure, turn to 65, which I guess we have?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
You recognize the emblem of Saloni, the smallest of the Stormland nations. The two soldiers are dressed in the uniforms of mercenary swordsmen from the town of Amori, which is situated close to its northern border. Fear and suspicion grow stronger, and you try to fathom a reason why these soldiers of fortune are here on this remote isle, 1,000 miles from their homeland. One of the men struggles to his feet and begins walking towards you. You sense that he has not seen you. He is merely answering the call of nature. But you decide that it is wise to slip away. Under cover of the forest, you return to the front of the building. Okay, so obviously we don't want to get urinated on, so let's run back to the front.
Yep. We're too powerful to get peed on. Curiosity overcomes your natural caution. And you decide to investigate the fascinating structure. You discover that the undergrowth has only recently been chopped away to give access to doors where gaping fire-blackened holes are all that remained of the crystal locks that held them secure for centuries. Beyond the damaged doors, a dry, dark tunnel slopes gently downward. It twists as it descends to a chamber which is huge and empty, and ringed by a score of openings. A green glow and the faint thrumming of discordant chanting draws you to one of these many portals. Beyond it, a staircase delves deeper into the earth. As you make your way carefully downward, the air becomes increasingly humid and chill. The stairs are slick with moisture and crawling with spiders and many-legged creatures that scuttle away from your feet. You count 60 steps before the staircase ends at a huge door stained black with damp and age. It's slightly ajar, and as you peer through the crack, you are chilled to the core by what lies beyond. Spooky.
Behind the black door lies a vast temple lit by a ghastly green glow, which radiates from columns of crystal that rise from the floor and ascend into the dark reaches above. Near the center of the room sits a giant block of sculptured marble, and around it stands a group of hooded men, their faces hidden behind hideous masks of glass. The dismal sound of their chanting fills the chamber, and, as their leader steps forward and removes his mask, so their voices rise in pitch and fervour. If you've travelled to the Stormlands of Central Magnamund in a previous Lone Wolf adventure, turn to 104. If you haven't been, turn to 263. Well, we have been, so let's go to 104.
Ah, you recognize the pale, badly scarred features of Rourke, lost Lord of the Saladin's town of Armory. He has aged much since your last meeting. His jet black hair is now streaked with gray, and he walks with a stoop. A stoop?
Yeah, like a limp.
Okay.
Actually,
as if burdened by a heavy pack. But his eyes are still as cold and as cruel as they were when he attempted to kill you 4 years ago. Ooh.
So I think a stoop is more like walking with your knees bent, like kind of like dragging your feet. So.
Okay.
Hear me, O Lord of Pain, cries the leader. Your humble servant Rourke invites you to aid him in this hour of dread and uncertainty. Come forth and conquer. Come forth and feast upon the souls of our enemies. As the grim words uttered by the grey-haired figure echoed through the temple, Yorkai's senses detect a stream of invisible force rising from the marble block. Gradually, a force takes the form of a mist filled with ghastly apparitions. An icy chill engulfs the temple as the mist swirls like a cyclone around the walls. Come! Come, Tagazin! Screams Rourke, his voice barely audible above the howling wind. From the pits of eternal pain I summon thee! If you possess the magnified discipline of divination and have reached the rank of Mentora, then 298. If you don't possess the skill, then you're screwed and go to 116. But we do possess the skill. So we can go to 298.
I'm glad we picked the skill right before this then.
Really coming in clutch.
Oh yeah, it has. A tingling sensation electrifies your senses and fills your mind with images of events which took place in this temple thousands of years ago. So strong are the psychic residues that linger here that the images appear breathtakingly vivid. During the age of the Old Kingdoms, when the Elder Magi ruled the land, this temple was a place of learning and experimentation. Well, it was here they developed their knowledge and understanding of nature, and many beneficial discoveries were made to the betterment of Magnamund. The guardians of this laboratory were a Drodarian race called the Patar. They served the Elder Magi. In return, they were encrusted with their newfound secrets of Earthcraft and Druidic lore. What a wonderful time this sounds. Oh, hey, Jubes. Good morning. But the Patar betrayed that trust when they allowed the Ceneries, a clan of evil druids, into the temple to plunder its secrets. The Ceneries called upon their Demonlord, who appeared in this very chamber. He took all the Elder Magi and nurtured and cultivated that the Elder Magi had nurtured and cultivated, and he turned it against them in the form of a deadly plague that decimated their race.
Coronavirus.
Oh my god. Too soon? Question mark? I don't know. Or too early? Question mark. Oh. In the wake of their destruction, the Ceneries and the Patar rose to power, but their reign was short-lived. A clan of godly druids called the Herbalish.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I fucked up a line. Called the Herbalish had helped the surviving Elder Magi to escape their enemies during the years of the Great Plague, waged war on the Ceneries, and were victorious. The Patar fled the temple in shame and gave a solemn pledge to the Herbalish that they would redeem their act of treachery by devoting themselves to the study of the healing arts and by striving to defeat disease in all of its forms. Ever since, the descendants of the Patar have been known as the Redeemers, and every new generation has upheld that ancient vow. But the story has yet to find an ending, for in this forgotten temple you are now witnessing a terrifying repeat of history. Rorak and his followers are Serenese druids, and they have come here once again to invoke the help of their master, the Demonlord Tagazin.
Okay, and we also got Jubilee assisting in the background with some meows.
she's the chanting and the knocking over of shit.
Some good. Every good spell needs a black cat. But we don't know if Jubilee's black.
She's a calico, so she's got a lot of black.
So the swirling mists draw in toward the marble rock. They grow darker as they merge into a solid shape that resembles a huge saber-toothed jackal with smooth cream-colored skin. Eye sheens on his muscular body and wisps of black smoke curl from his snuffling snout. Rourke and his followers throw themselves to their knees and praise the creature devoutly. He responds by lowering his glowing eyes and regarding them with disdain. Oh my god, look at this thing. Oh, it's even got a collar. Like a star collar.
Oh, cool. Hold on once.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at this demon dog from hell. So it appears to have a collar, like it's a star-shaped collar. I wonder what his name is. Probably Fido. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say Fido.
A Fido with his big-ass fangs and his lack of pupils. I'm sure there's a normal thing for dogs, right? And for them to be on fire and be like, you can see their skeletons. Actually, on some dogs you can't see their skeletons, but that's because they're neglected.
Oh, wah wah.
So this is the dog.
Sad real life shit.
He says, his voice deep and rasping. But before
Evil
Rourke can offer a
Scooby-Doo.
Before Rourke can offer a reply, the Demon Lord swivels his head in your direction and emits a fearful snarl. If you have the Magnified Discipline size screen, turn to 26. If you don't possess it, 213. Luckily, we do have it. We've had it for a long while.
Yeah, we've had. It doesn't help that much, but oh well.
I think now it's going to be really handy.
Oh, that would be nice. A wave of pain begins to envelop your mind, but your psychic defenses deflect the attack before it overwhelms your senses. Lose 1 endurance point. The attack ceases, but your fear grows as you watch the jackal-like Demon Lord leap from the marble block and come bounding towards the door. If you have a bow and wish to use it, go there. If not, go there.
147. Let's do it.
Yeah, we always use that bow. That bow has been tried and true.
With terrifying ease, the Demon Lord throws open the stone door, which splits asunder as it slams against the temple wall. You release your arrow and send it burrowing deep into the creature's chest. The Demon Lord laughs mockingly and plucks the shaft from his body as if it were no more of an irritation than a tiny splinter. No blood oozes from the wound, and the puncture seals itself quickly to leave no mark on the creamy skin of the supernatural creature.
Oh.
Surrender yourself, mortal! He commands. Or I shall spare you the agonies of death! If you possess the summer sword, turn to 286. If you don't, you're screwed and go to 333.
Zoid, Scoob, better pull out that summer sword! You draw your golden sword, and its cleansing light washes over the Demon Lord's unwholesome form. He growls uneasily, as if sickened by the close proximity of such a noble blade, and slowly he withdraws into the temple. Rorak and his followers huddled in the corner and watch with fearful eyes as their master prepares to attack. Ooh.
Got a shit ton of combat skill. Oh my god, his combat skill is like almost as much as ours. Flipping
oh my
hell.
god, he's got a lot of health too. This is a big. This is a dangerous dog.
This is just as bad as the last guy we fought, the Vasagonian Lord, with his big crystal.
Oh.
All right, this supernatural being is immune to Mind Blast, but not Psy Surge, and we need to reduce his endurance to 20 points or less. But it says there at the bottom, if you automatically kill Tagazin, he doesn't die, but is severely weakened. You should still turn to section 20. Are we even going to be able to get a kill on this guy?
Well, we're gonna have to.
He's immune to Mind Blast.
There's no option of losing this, apparently.
He's immune to Mind Blast, so I don't think we're allowed to get the same as... Yeah! Oh shit, he's got a better combat skill than us.
Oh my god.
This is the first time this
is
has
a dangerous
happened for a long
dog.
while. Ouch. Oh no!
Oh!
That is a big hit. How the hell are we gonna get him down? Oh!
That hurt.
Oh, I should have remembered. We've got a potion of Alether. I wonder if I use it now, would it... Oh. Might as well try it.
Yeah, why not?
Can't use it. Oh, can't be used in the midst of a fight? Damn it. Alright, if we die, we'll have to try again with it.
Okay, we'll just remember to use it next time if we die. Alright, good damage, good damage, good fight, good fight. Go, Lone Wolf! Go, Lone Wolf!
Oh, no. Lone Wolf versus Big Scary Dog. Scary Dog is winning. Scary Dog definitely has the advantage here. Okay, that's a good number. We need 0s, 9s, and 8s. We can beat him. And I should be able to eat a meal as well. We picked those 3 shrubs. So I can boost my health up a bit. At least I hope it lets me do it during a fight.
We just gotta do 7 more damage and not take 10 damage. I think we did it!
Okay.
I think we did it!
Yes, we reduced to 20 points or less. Whew. Right, Tagazin shudders as the blows of the Summer Sword rob him of his supernatural strength. His body becomes pale, almost transparent, and tiny tendrils of smoke curl from his skin, as if his body was slowly evaporating. He retreats towards the center of the temple, and leaps onto the marble block. There's a chilling howl, and suddenly, the shadowy chamber is flooded with blinding light. Thunder booms, and the walls shake. Terrified, Rourke and his companions flee through the shattered doors and scramble up the stairs. Crackling bolts of white lightning leap from the marble block to tear great chunks of rock from the walls, and the air seethes with a cloying stench that threatens to suffocate you. With terror in your heart, you bound up the stairs and escape as the defeated spirit of the Demonlord vents its spite on the chamber below.
Oh.
That was a tough fight. God damn, we need to get some health back soon.
Dust clogs your throat, and the roar of falling stone is deafening as you race towards the surface. When you reach the ramp that leads to the crystal doors, you find it split wide open. I do gotta say, I want to pause for a second. This demon dog was so fucking strong that it's like annihilating the area that it even died in.
Yes. Well, it's not dead technically because we already reduced its points down to less than 20. But I think it just retreated.
He's just being a dick about losing.
He's probably gonna come back at the end.
Probably. Hopefully it won't be as strong.
I gotta remember to use the potion before we do the combat.
Yeah. A web of cracks zigzags across the 2 halves, and a growing mound of rubble threaten to seal off the exit. Desperately, you claw your way across the jagged debris, passing the bodies of some of Rourke's followers, and diving through the shrinking exit just before the ceiling collapses with a tremendous crash. Outside, the situation is remarkably calm. Only a slight ground tremor and the sound like distant thunder hit at an incredible destruction taking place inside the temple. The clearing is deserted, and you are beginning to think that you are the only one who have escaped, when you hear horses galloping away and glimpse 3 riders disappearing along the tracks that head off to the east. It is nearly dark, and they are soon swallowed by the shadows of the forest. If you wish to follow them, go there. If you choose to ignore them and spend the night in the clearing, go there. Well, let's follow that. I mean, maybe we should get some endurance points up, though. I'm a little worried.
Well, I've got some healing stuff if we absolutely need to use it, but I think we should be good to follow.
Alright, because I want to chase down these people if we can.
Yeah, luckily it's no combat, so we should be able to heal up a bit. The track consists of an ancient paving block, mostly overgrown with moss, but occasionally you hear the sound of distant hoofbeats striking upon an exposed slab of stone. You follow the trail and are soon engulfed by darkness. Only the sound of forest owls and the flutter of bats can be heard as you make your way slowly through the inky black forest. You've been walking less than an hour when you arrive at a stone bridge. The stream it once crossed has long since dried up, and the empty watercourse is blanketed with dead leaves. You are now very tired and in need of food and rest. If you wish to stop and rest here at the bridge, turn to 204. If you decide to forego rest and continue along the track, turn to 37. I'm thinking we should rest.
We probably should. I thought we could chase them down, but yeah, I guess we can't.
It's not just saying tired, it's saying very tired. So I think if we push ourselves anymore, we might do irreparable damage. So I'm going to take a nap.
Let's take a nap. Cautiously, you investigate beneath the bridge, and to your relief, discover that it's deserted. You are hungry and exhausted, and after your ordeal, you must now eat a meal or lose 3 endurance points. Or just eat from the wild.
Yep.
Just eat some caterpillars and leaves.
Oh crap, if we eat a bat, we might get coronavirus from it.
Oh shit!
Let's eat the owls, eat the owls.
Yes, owls are still safe as far as we know. Too tired to continue, you settle down on the soft mattress of leaves and drift off into a deep sleep. Turn to page 295. Yes,
the cold blue light of early morning and the sound of a crow cawing in the distance stir you from your deep sleep. Sorry. Rays of golden sunlight stream through the forest canopy, illuminating the dark grey-green foliage and making your continued trek through the pines a far easier task than last night. You make excellent progress, and at mid-afternoon you emerge from the woods that fringe the eastern border to find yourself staring at the River Brol and the rolling green sea of trees that is the Mogador Forest. The rushing waters of the Brol are too deep to traverse at this point, so you follow the rock-strewn bank northwards until you catch sight of an ideal place to cross. The remains of an ancient bridge, which collapsed centuries ago, form a shoal of broken stones that ford the river. The water bubbles and foams as it washes over this shallow causeway. Eagerly, you approach the ford, but you stop dead in your tracks when you hear gruff, inhuman voices coming from a clump of bushes near the river's edge. If you have the Magna discipline of invisibility or passmanship, turn to 194. If you possess neither of the skills, turn to 67. So, you do have it.
Doesn't this, game make you feel so good once you actually, start gathering all the skills and you get, all the good options? It's just good option, good option, good option. It's just that's wholesome. We're leveled up.
The game rewards you for reading the previous books, because if you don't, you can't gather the disciplines.
Yeah, that's true. Alright. You recognize the language being spoken by the owners of the harsh voices. It's Quran. A shiver runs down your spine when you recall what you have heard about the evil creatures who speak this tongue. How they delight in cruelty and love nothing better than to devour human flesh. It would be wise to avoid them, but in order to reach the ford, you have to pass close by the bushes. From what little you can hear their conversation, they are arguing over some fish they have caught. As you creep nearer, you pray that the argument will keep them distracted long enough for you to reach the river unseen. Pick a random number from the number table. If you have completed the lower circle of Solaris, add 3. Oh wow, we get that 3.
And
it doesn't matter. Oh.
You've taken less than a dozen silent steps when the voices stop. There's a rustle of foliage. Then a group of hideous-looking creatures emerge from the bushes. They're not as tall as you, but almost twice as broad, with arms that hang below their knees. They slobber repulsively as they draw their primitive weapons and shuffle closer. If you have a bow and wish to use it, hell yeah, 119. If not, 315.
That bow is coming so much use. You draw an arrow and let it fly to the leading creature. It pierces its hairless skull and sends it reeling into the bushes. The others gurgle at their displeasure and fix you with their murderous black eyes as they make ready to rush forward and attack. Quran. Combat skill 20, endurance 33.
Yeah, these guys are going to pose no challenge, not after we beat the Jackal.
I just hope they don't get a few cheap hits. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Oh my god,
26, we're going to run them over. Although, oh crap, we are going to take a bit of damage. As long as it's just like a couple of hits here and there. Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah, they gotta be dead now. Yep.
If you win the combat, 84.
Dun dun dun.
You search the bodies of the dead Krone, but find little of value. Their weapons are crude and poorly fashioned, and their packs contain nothing but strips of dried meat. You consider the long journey ahead, but stories you've heard about the Krone's love of human flesh are enough to put you off the idea of taking this food. Good choice. If you wish to hide the bodies before you cross the river, turn to 146. If you choose to leave them where they lie, turn to 335. Why are they telling us this? I guess we should hide the bodies.
Strange option. Yeah, I feel like since it's like a special option, we should. The smell of their blood makes your stomach heave, but your grim labor does not go unrewarded. Inside the bushes, you discover their catch of fish. There are enough speckled trout here for 5 meals. If you take any of the fish, remember to record them into your action chart.
We've got so many meals, we don't need it.
Yeah, we're fine. Just take a fish and we'll just eat it on the road.
Swiftly
cross the river and continue. Oh, yeah, go.
Swiftly, you cross the rocky causeway, taking care to tread on only those stones that rise above the foaming white torrent. And you enter the Mogador forest as quickly as the dense trees will allow. The ground rises steeply, and it is dusk before your climb ends at the crest of a ridge, overlooking the Isle of Ghosts. In less than an hour, it will be dark, so you decide to camp here on the ridge and continue at first light. You must not eat a meal or lose 3 endurance. But we're not going to, we're just going to eat an owl. And look, we got a nice wolf.
This owl's good!
Tasty owl. Hoot hoot.
Hoot hoot.
You're preparing to settle down on a bed of leaf mold when the howl of a timber wolf prompts you to abandon your soft mattress and spend the night in the bough of a tree. But that's a wolf and we're a wolf. Surely we can, like, converse.
Or converse.
We're just, like, howling at each other.
Maybe.
Oh! Alright, turn to 125.
You howl at the other creature and decide that you have a lot in common. Alright. Your journey northward towards the Mogador forest is long and tiring trek that is fraught with danger. Roving bands of corn and packs of savage timber wolves demand that you remain vigilant at all times as you venture deeper into their vast domain. You feel your sense of time gradually slipping away. Your only consolation is on this long and lonely trek is that the wild game is plentiful and you experience no shortage of food. On the morning of your 9th day in the forest, you notice the great pines are beginning to thin out and the ground is becoming dusty and sparsely vegetated. Soon you come upon a road constructed of broken stones which leaves the forest and disappears into a barren landscape of yellow sulfurous soil. You check your map and it confirms your suspicions. You have reached the foothills of Nadrolzitaga Mountains. Nadritzaga Mountains.
Nadolritzaga.
Nadolritzaga Mountains. And are now less than 20 miles away from the fortress of Torgar.
Okay. After a week of trekking across a difficult terrain, The firm surface of the hill track feels as smooth as a mirror beneath your aching feet. By noon, you've put 10 miles behind you and have reached a bridge which crosses a sickly yellow stream flowing down from the surrounding hills. You must now eat a meal or lose 3 endurance. So if you didn't have any meals, those fish would really come in handy.
Yeah.
You're about to continue your journey across the bridge when you hear a rumble of hoofbeats and see a group of horsemen shrouded in dust riding along the road towards you. If you have the Magnified Discipline of Hunt Mastery and have reached the rank of Principalin or more, turn to 12. If you don't possess the skill or haven't reached the level, you can either wait for these riders to reach you or hide beneath the bridge. So our Hunt Mastery I think helps us with being detected, or we can't be sneaked up upon, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Using your ability to intensify your vision, you focus on the advancing horsemen. You see that they are all wearing surcoats of scarlet and gray, embroidered with the crest bearing an open hand. The only horsemen who wear this livery are the cavalry of Talstria. If you wish to wave down these riders, go there. If you'd rather hide from them beneath the bridge, go there.
So there seem to be riders of the land, like the army. But I don't think it'll be so bad. Wave them down.
Yeah, I think we can wave them down.
That'll
I
help us
mean,
out.
maybe they'll make us. Maybe they'll be like, "What's our salute? What's our code? If you don't know these things, we're gonna kill you."
Alright, the Talastrians bring their horses to a halt and regard you with suspicion. Their officer draws his sword and demands to know your nationality and the name of your regiment. You reply in his native tongue that you are an Iruan Pathfinder, and a smile spreads slowly across his rugged face. He tells you that he and his men are scouts who have been sent to make sure that the hills are free of enemy troops. Your Kaisek sense confirms that he speaks the truth, and when he offers to take you to meet his commander, you accept the invitation gladly. 10 to 6.
Oh. You share the officer's horse as he leads his company back along the route they have already ridden. Steadily, the road winds upward through the hills towards a ridge of yellow rock, and as you reach the crest of the ridge, you catch your first awe-inspiring glimpse of Torgar.
Jeez, that thing is huge.
Oh
God
my god. That's a long-ass drop, too.
I
That's
want to be
scary.
pushed off the top of that.
I wouldn't either. The walls of this grim city fortress stand upon the brink of a ravine cut deep by centuries of rushing water. A natural causeway of stone spans this dark chasm and provides the only means of approaching Torgar from the south. Its position and its defenses seem impenetrable. It commands the only road into the barren land of Gatan, and any who dare travel that road must pass over the causeway through the great city's iron gate. In the past, there have been a few who would venture willingly to Torgar, but now the causeway and its approaches swarm with such men. They are soldiers of Talastra and Palmrimian, and they have come with their engines of war to lay siege to this grim Dorkane forest. A scout officer spurs his horse away from the ridge, and you are carried towards a cluster of tents that stand on high ground overlooking the siege works. As you arrive, a group of knights steps forward to take the horse's reins. You dismount with the officer and follow as he enters the largest tent. If you have ever visited the land Telestia in previous Lone Wolf adventures, go to page 45. If you have not purchased this book, then what are you doing?
Go back and read it.
Purchase our book. Please buy our books.
Inside the tent, a group of senior officers are poring over their battle maps and planning their troop dispositions for an assault across the causeway. Their leader has his back to you, but when he turns to see who has entered his tent, you recognize him at once. He's Adamus, Lord Constable of Garthan. "By the gods!" he exclaims. "I thought the Denag had claimed you, Lone Wolf. How good it is to see you alive." He dismisses his captains and bids you tell all that has happened since last you met. So you wish to break into Torgar, he says thoughtfully. How strange it is that our goals should be so similar. Come, follow me. Perhaps cooperation will hasten our success.
Orbital strike, orbital strike.
Yeah, we know we can do it.
A short distance from Lord Adamus' tent stands a wooden watchtower constructed by his army engineers, which offers an unobstructed view of the causeway and the Great Gate of Torgar. As you reach the top of its rickety ladder and step onto the platform beside the Lord Constable, he recounts the events that have led to the siege of this city fortress. Following his victory over the Organes, and the destruction of Zanar, Adamus led the allied armies of Bor, Talstra, and Pomerian along the Black Shroud Trail in pursuit of the shattered enemy. When they reached the Agna Cor Cusium, the Road of Slaves, the army of Bor was detached and sent to assail Black Shroud from the east, while the bulk of the allied forces marched north towards Torgar. When Talstra was overrun in the early days of war, thousands of people were taken as slaves and imprisoned here in the fortress. Lord Adamus has sworn that one day he would free them, and he was determined to fulfill his pledge. During the march north, a great battle was fought near the wastelands of Zutinza, against two Giak armies led by Dark Lord Kragenskull and Dark Lord Charmander. Both were soundly defeated by the allies and sent back to Cragmantle to lick their wounds. Although victorious, the Zutzena and allies had suffered heavily, and Adamus feared that they would be too weak to storm Torgar. He was too far from his homeland for reinforcements to reach him swiftly, and there was the growing threat that the Dark Lords would muster their troops in Tanaz and Mosgor and attack again. Faced with this great dilemma, he decided to risk an assault on Torgar. We must have the means to breach their iron gate, he says, staring purposefully at the great door of Torgar. The Elder Magi have given us this device that will reduce it to twisted scrap, and when we march through the portal and free our people, we shall have all the reinforcements we need.
Nice. It's probably a bomb.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yes, a magical bomb.
The hoarse cries of soldiers and the blare of war trumpets announce preparations for an assault across the causeway. Armored infantry gather in spearhead formation and wait for the order to advance towards a wall of logs and earth, which has been thrown up to protect the vanguard troops dug in on the causeway itself. These warriors scuttle about behind their ramparts, holding arched wooden shields over their bent backs to protect them against the arrows raining down from the battlements. The iron gate stands less than 50 yards from their position, and this approach is heaped with the bodies of those who have fallen during previous assaults. You accompany Lord Adamus as he makes his way through the massed ranks of infantry and enters a trench which zigzags towards the causeway. He stops at a log-lined hollow dug out of the trench wall and speaks with a captain who's lying there, nursing a broken arm. The wounded officer hands him a leather satchel, and Adamus continues along the trench until he reaches the center of the causeway. There, you both take cover with the vanguard and peer through a slit in the log wall at the formidable entrance to Torgar.
It's an impressive-looking door, says Adamus, studying the wall black iron pitted and streaked with age. But every door has a key, and we have the key to this one. He flips open the leather satchel and removes what appears to be a mass of triangular crystals fused into a solid lump. This device that the Elder Magi prepared for us has to be placed at the front of the door and is activated by pressing this shard. It is a bomb, isn't it?
Yeah, it
He
stinks
says,
of a bomb.
"This is such a bomb," he says, pointing to a silver crystal protruding from the side. The thing explodes 10 seconds after the shard is pressed.
Which shard is full of him? Look at that thing.
I assume it's the long one off to the right?
On the right?
The
You
top
push that
right?
one in. What, you're going to slice your finger as you do it?
The blood price must be paid. Calmly, he takes a coin from his pocket and flicks it in the air. One of us must place a device, he says, and catches the coin. We're only the two left who stand a chance of surviving the run. He nods as his clutched fist and invites you to call heads or tails.
I'm saving.
Okay. Oh, if you have the Mandakai discipline divination in which to use it.
Oh god, let's use divination.
Alright, let's do it.
You focus your Kai skill on Adamas' hand, but you cannot tell which side of the coin is showing. All you can detect is a strong magical aura, indicating that the coin is magically shielded. You have no option but to guess which side is showing. He knows that people are gonna be trying to fuck him over. He knows we're trying to use the ability. Oh shit.
Oh, I'm so glad this exists. This is Adamas. Adamas. Awesome. Adamas.
Alright. So,
Awesome.
what do you think, heads or tails?
By default, I would go heads.
Let's do it.
All right. When he opens his fist, you see that the coin shows tails.
Oh,
Fate has chosen you for this heroic task, Kyle Lord, he says. He hands you the leather satchel containing the crystal explosive. My men will cover you with the crossbows when you make your run. Place the device so that the shard faces the door, and remember, you have only 10 seconds to get back here once it's activated. You shoulder a satchel, and as Adamas gives the order to his men to fire, you scramble over the rampart and sprint towards the great iron door. And you pick a random number to see how well this goes. If you had the Magpie Discipline of Hunt's Mastery, add 2 to the number you have picked. If you have completed the Lore Circle of Solaris, add a further 2, so we get to add 4.
so 0 and 1, you're pretty much dead. At least we know
Yeah.
we're gonna get a 4. Yes, and add 5 to that,
Oh,
and
we
we get
got
8 or more.
Yep.
Perfect. The yells of the Dracarim echo along the battlements as they watch you sprinting towards the city. Then a rain of boulders slams down with terrific force, spraying you with splinters of stone as they disintegrate on impact. Your senses keep you safe, as instinctively you dodge the falling rocks and then skid to a halt in front of the door. You plant and prime the crystal explosive, and run back, counting the seconds with every step. You clear the rampart on the count of 7 and flatten yourself behind its protective wall.
We did it! The crystal explodes with a blinding flash, releasing a bolt of sun-like energy that tears a massive hole, very triangular in shape,
Yeah.
in the 1-foot-thick iron plate and transforms what little remains into a red-hot slag. The shuddering concoction of jars the entire causeway, and fragments of glowing metal fall all around you. Triumphant cheers rise from the thunderous boom and is rumbling through the ravine as the spear point of Adamas' army surges across the causeway towards the ruined gates.
Look at that
We
thing.
made it all!
That's a perfect triangle. Well, near
It
enough.
is.
What kind
Maybe
of
it
bomb
was a
explodes in
magic bomb.
It definitely
Yeah.
wasn't, given by the Magi. But I'm just wondering, like, what kind
Can
of
we
bomb
even-
explodes in a triangle?
Can we even traverse that? That looks like melted metal on the bottom in a puddle.
Yeah,
It
it will
doesn't even look like
solidify.
something you could traverse. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll just wait to solidify, and then we'll have our battle.
It's just like the edges dripping, so we should be fine. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, I was wondering, like, because it was saying it releases a bolt of sun-like energy. So we have the Summer Sword, and we know we can do an orbital strike. So why don't we just blast open the door ourselves from a distance?
Why don't we just blast the whole place to smithereens?
Well, I mean, there's slaves, there's prisoners in there that we need to free. So we might need to dial the sword to like a fraction of its power, and then do an orbital strike just to take care of the outer wall.
Set sword to stun.
Yeah. Imagine it has like a little switch on it, like stunning and maiming.
It's just this gem crystal you turn sideways or something.
So you take your place beside Lord Adamus and charge through the smoldering gap, leaping over the charred and broken remains of the Drukhari who were caught by the blast. The allied soldiers follow your lead and sweep into the startled city, through a gate now guarded only by the slain. Despite their shock, the defenders begin to rally as they receive fresh reinforcements from other parts of the city, and soon, a vicious battle rages in the cramped, gloomy streets. You lead a group of Palmyrian men-at-arms across a courtyard, and into a dingy street where you find yourselves confronted by a regiment of Drukharim garrison troops. They've gathered to make a wall of shields behind a pair of small figures, black-robed and cowled, each holding a yellow globe. If you possess the magnified discipline of divination and have reached the rank of tutelary or more, turn to 22. If you don't possess the skill, 57. Now what are these yellow glowing orbs?
Divination has been such like the greatest thing to pick so far. We have used that so many times.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, we haven't seen yellow spheres before. Might be like poison or something. It reminds me of mustard gas. Let's go 22.
Probably. Either that or it's just a smoke bomb. Your Magna Chi skill warns you that the robed figures possess magical abilities. The glass globes they are holding contain a volatile mixture of phosphorus and oil. If the globes were to break, the contents would burst into flames immediately on contact with the air.
So
if you have a bow, wish to fire, and yes!
That's a fucking Molotov?
Yes!
Yeah, we are definitely using that bow.
Oh, yeah, of course. And we're firing at the globe, not the creature.
Yeah. Makes sense. The two diminutive magicians see you level your bow and realize that they're in danger. As you take aim, they get ready to hurl their spheres at the Palmyrians. Pick a number, and add any missile bonuses you have to this number. We've got the silver bow. Oh, we just about did it. I remembered we got weapon mastery in the bow, so we managed to add some more to that as well as having the silver
awesome bow. Your arrow screams towards the magician and shatters the sphere clasped in his claw-like hand. There's a brilliant flash as it explodes, scattering fragments that hiss like a host of fiery snakes along the Drakeem. The second magician drops his sphere, setting off another explosion. The Drakeem scream in pain and terror as the fragments burn everything they touch.
Burn it all to the ground.
Critical success!
The surviving Drukharim scatter into the surrounding alleys, and you are able to advance towards the center of Torgar unopposed. The Palmyrians meet up with their regiment, and you continue alone along the dingy thoroughfare. It leads to an open square, where a conical tower of iron points accusingly at the sky. Here, the flagstones vibrate to a continuous throbbing that beats like a gigantic pulse somewhere deep in the bowels of the city. The battle has drawn most of the Drukharim away from this square, and you have no difficulty in reaching the tower and entering it via an open archway. A corridor of steel lies beyond, empty save for the distant din that assails your ears. Countless passages lead off from the main corridor, all sloping downwards, and many occupied by Drukharim warriors. The passages are poorly lit, and it's easy to avoid your enemies until you reach a vast stairway bathed in a bright orange glow that radiates from a level below. That's a cool coat of arms, or a cool insignia. Pick a number.
Lots of spikes.
Yeah, spikes galore. Pick a number from the random number table. If you complete the Law Circle of Solaris, add 3 to the number you picked. Gonna be a tough one. But we did it, even without a bonus. So if it's 6, 3, 4, 8. If it's 7 or more, turn to 47.
You are about to descend when a shadow looms into view and a Drukharim officer appears at the foot of the stairs. Instantly, you press yourself to the wall and use all your Kai skills to mask your presence. He strides up the stairs, passing within a few feet of you. But miraculously, he fails to notice you and continues without stopping. After wiping the sweat from your brow, you continue down the stairs.
And we might have avoided a fight with that.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond the staircase lies a circular parapet which overlooks a huge cavernous crater. It is filled with thousands of human slaves toiling with a pick and shovel deep in the sulphurous heart of Torgar. Their bodies are filthy and covered with sweat, despite a freezing wind, which howls in the depths like a hungry wolf. Drukarim overseers urge them to greater effort, and the crack of their whips is answered by the slaves' anguished cries of pain. Angered by what you've seen, you leave the parapet and enter a dimly lit passage that descends to a door of black steel. A twist of the handle reveals that it's locked. If you have a black key, turn to 80. If you have a skeleton key, turn to 219. If you possess neither of the special items, turn to 130. When could we have ever
need a
gotten
skill of pick locking. Yeah.
Well, let's move on.
Now, so much for that. You examine the lock and recognize its simple latch mechanism. If you possess the Mankind Discipline of Nexus, which we don't, if you possess a dagger, which we do, so
maybe
time to go to dagger. Oh, are we?
Oh, thank fuck. Okay. Sorry. It takes several minutes to pick the lock using your dagger, and in doing so, you snap the tip off and ruin the blade. Delete this weapon from your action chart. Not the dagger of Vashna, thank God. We have an actual dagger with us.
Oh, thank God.
Hang on, let me just quickly save here and make sure it is the dagger that gets deleted. Oh, you get to select which weapon to discard.
Get to choose.
Yeah.
We need another dagger. We need a backup dagger.
We were never using that one, to be fair. We were always using the dagger of Vashna. So we just
I want a backup dagger to save the dagger of Vashna in case we gotta do this again.
Okay, the door opens on a passageway lined with torches. Halfway along the left wall, you see another door. A solid slab of iron broken only by a small barred window. Silently, you approach it and peer in through the grill. If you visited the Donag in a previous Lone Wolf adventure, turn to 260. If not, turn to 114. Man, we are getting loads of flashbacks. But that Donag was the swamp.
It's almost like they're rewarding you for spending money on your previous books.
Yes. Yes, it is.
This is the DLC, and it's rewarding you for playing through the game. That's what it's doing right now.
Pretty much.
Beyond the door, you see a dank dungeon cell. A prisoner sits cross-legged on the stone-cold floor, his head resting on his chest. The dark skin on his hands and arms is covered in tiny scars, and his plaited hair is matted with grime and dried blood. Wearily, he raises his hand, and your pulse races as you recognize the face of Lord Pydo, warrior magician of Desi.
Yes!
Wait,
you found him?
Is this the guy that got dragged off?
Yeah, that's him.
What? Oh, we gotta save him!
Finally,
oh,
like how many books later? Sorry, we kept you waiting for like 3 books.
We were busy. Sorry, we have a quest.
Alright, a key to the cell door hangs on a hook nearby. You grab it, twist it in the lock, and kick the heavy slab of metal. It creaks open, and Pydo rushes forward to embrace you. "Thank the gods you have found me, Lone Wolf," he says, his voice filled with emotion. "Drukarim said you were dead, that your body lay rotting in the Donag, but I never once believed their lies." Pydo is overjoyed to hear that the Torgar gate has fallen, and that a battle is raging in the streets above. And when you inform him of your mission, he replies with news that raises your hopes of success. Alright, I want to pause it here. I think this would be a good place for us to end off. We've just found Pydo, and now we're going to team up with him once again and go and kick some Drukarim ass.
Hell yes. We are now fueled by re-enjoyment of reuniting. I meant to say good words, but it did not come out well.
Hey, we just saw
we are reunited with our old friend, and our passion for revenge has been fueled.
Yes, now with our renewed sense of revenge fulfilled and all this extra stuff, and Pydo, remember he's like a warrior magician as well, and kick ass. and he holds his one sideways because he's black. We're gonna end the episode with this. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time as we kick ass with Pedo. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Oh, bye-bye.